This is probably one of the best trails in Michigan that most people have never heard of. This is the dam for Oyster Lake. We're hiking the trail that goes around it. I think it's like 2.8 miles. Lots of hills. Nice, beautiful overlooks of the lake. This trail goes around Trout Lake also. This is the beach for Oyster Lake right here. Nice sandy beach. You can see the sand going out into the water. This is a good place to cool off and swim. There's some campgrounds around here. And then the water gets really deep right there where the sand ends. It drops right off. We're going to continue hiking up some hills. I think we're going to take a rest here, sit on one of these rocks, and have a drink. So we came downhill a long ways to get to the beach. Now we're headed back up the hill. Right on the side of this trail, somebody made a little teepee shelter here. Not really too much of a shelter, but not sure why this is here, but this is pretty cool. This is right off the trail. Here's the trail. There it is. Right on top of this ridge. The lake is just down there, quite a ways down. If you look through the trees down there, you can see the lake quite a ways down there. Back up high again. Trees are a little bit thinner here, you can see down to the water. This trail used to be marked pretty good and used to be cleared pretty good, but you can see there's some trees down on it now. And they're not doing quite the best job, especially in the cedar swamp parts, of keeping it clear. There was quite a few cedars down. You can see it's just marked with these blue dots, but they do have some maps. I think there's 8 different ones scattered on the trail and numbers to kind of help you find your way. But there's still quite a few spots where you could get lost if you're not careful. I think they need to come through and do a little more paint marking. But that's what makes it fun. Adds a little bit of adventure to it. We're going back down to the swampy part of the lake now. So we're back down to the lake now. Try zooming it in. Right over there is where you can launch a boat or canoe. No gas motors, only electric. So we're right here now. Just come around. We actually came out of the campground here, hiked around. Right down here, this is some really sketchy stuff where the trail's grown over, but we made it here. We can go this way and go between the lakes, or we can go this way and go around Trout Lake. So we're gonna go around Trout Lake. Coming up out of the deep dark woods to Trout Lake. Not near as much of a hill as the Oyster Lake side. So we're almost to the campground. I just heard somebody swinging an axe, so sounds like there's people there. We're gonna head around the south end of Trout Lake now. This little ravine down here is where the stream comes out of Trout Lake. We're coming up to the dam right up here. See all the sunlight coming out of the trees here. And we're up here. This is the parking area where people park and they swim out here in Trout Lake. Pretty sandy. Probably pretty easy to get stuck, but yeah, there's Trout Lake out there. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna walk across that dam there and hopefully find our way through, go around over there somewhere. There's the public access right there. And we're gonna go around, all the way around there and back to our campsite, which is over there. So here's the public access. Not really the best conditions for putting a boat in, but mostly you're going to be putting in a canoe or kayak or a little rowboat. So not too big of a deal. So we found our trail again. We lost the trail once we crossed where the dam there. We just walked through, there is no real trail. We just walked through the campsite road and came around through another campsite loop and came to right here, and we picked up the trail again right here. So hopefully we can continue. We are now all the way over here. We just need to get back to about right there and then get off and go back to our campsite. We got a bunch of big trees down across the path here. The path goes right there, so we had to follow this tree up a little bit, up the hill. Now we got to go back down. It's really steep and slippery with leaves on it.
Oh gosh.
So it's a little bit tougher when you got a dog with you.
Can you jump over?
Come on. Here. Oh yeah, good girl. Good girl. Your turn. There you go. You got it. Now you just got to go the easiest way down to get back down to the trail there. The easiest way you can find. Hopefully without falling. Use your walking stick. We're almost back to the trail. Come on, Grace. Come on, you got this. Okay, and then the trail goes down through there. So out on that point there, I know there's an old chimney, and I don't know what it's from. If there was an old cabin out there and that's all that's left, but we're gonna head over there and we're gonna take a look at it and see what we find. It's probably a little bit of Michigan history out there. We're back up high again. We're now on the west side of Trout Lake, coming to the north side, and it's a pretty high ridge over here. Not quite as high as on Oyster Lake, but still a nice little ridge. Nice overlook of the lake. That's our trail here. It looks like we have a big log to walk across for a bridge over this creek. Hopefully the dog can do it. We'll see. Probably the dog's gonna jump and Grace is gonna fall in, I'm guessing. But,
well, not.
But we'll see. The House Lake Campground is right up there. Very nice campground. Lots of nice grassy lots. I think there's 41 total. So it's on a big hill, and House Lake is a really tiny lake on the other side of the hill, other side of the campground, and then Oyster Lake is on this side. Great campground. Looks really nice. If you come during the week, very quiet. If you come on the weekend, it might be a little bit louder. I can see where there was lots of people here over the weekend, but we came Sunday evening and it's been great. So we're here on the west side of Oyster Lake right now. The path just goes a little bit off the shore, not far, and we're just following the lake around. Pretty cool view. And here comes Jeremiah. We're just gonna keep heading north to the north end of the lake. This is a huge pine tree on the west side. Just huge. Another one that's fairly big, just down from it, but you can see. This is an old tree here. These signposts were not here the last time we hiked this, and it was a pain. You can kind of find your way around just by the landmarks and using the lake, but get off trail a little bit and get back on. There's not a ton of the markings. You can see maybe there's a blue dot up there on that tree. Some places they're not marked as good. There's a bunch of cedar swamps around here and little creeks that flow into this little lake. It's really neat to see. Trail used to go up that way where Jeremiah is, and they had a little bridge for you over the creek right there, but another tree has fallen across. So you can still make it. It's a little tricky. They have another little path down here now where they threw some little logs across for you to get through. This is so cool up here. It's almost a cliff going down to the lake. It's quite a drop off. You can see a few down trees down there. You can kind of see the lake out there. Yeah, this is a really steep hill. I'm sure this video isn't doing it justice at all. Okay, we're done with our little hike. We made the whole loop and went back to the campground and grabbed our canoe, and now we're going to make it over to that point where the chimney is. We're headed that way. It's right there. Only problem is it's starting to rain a little bit, so I'm going to have to paddle pretty quick. Okay, we're almost to the point, and no, there's that chimney out here. I've seen it before. Other side, Grace. Paddle us right into shore now. Go. Okay, we made it up on the shore. Lots of room here where the lake level is down. A little mucky though around there. It's just a light rain. We're gonna hurry up and see if we can find this and then head back across the lake. Here's the trail over here. So there's a nice trail coming down to the point. You can see there's a lake over there and over there. And it appears that at some point there was a cabin here, because here's an old fireplace with a chimney. I don't know the history behind it, but I'm sure at some point there had to have been some kind of a trapper's cabin or some kind of a little cabin here on this beautiful little point. It's a little mucky now because the lake is low. I'm guessing that they maybe did some trapping in these streams around here, and they had a cabin here to stay in while they were trapping long ago. But this is just a cool little piece of Gladwin County history here. All that's left is the fireplace and the chimney. But you can see that at one point there was a structure here going out this way. Pretty cool. That's our truck over there. So we got to paddle back across the little lake here before we get too wet. We're gonna head back.